Chapter 24. The flower was the first of many new species that the team would find in the coming months' worth of relentless searching. The crew fell into a comfortable rhythm. It was a running joke that Sasha and Emily had formed their own two-woman social club. They never did partner up with anyone else, which was wise, given their tendencies toward bluntness and profanity. Discovery was the common bond for the other two pairs as well. Not a meal went by that one of them wasn't jabbering about some new artifact, insect, or fungus. But Sasha and Emily didn't really want to share. It was an unconscious byproduct of that first day when Emily almost trampled her prized flower. Sometimes she wondered, though, had Sasha even noticed the bloom before Emily had sensed it? And perhaps more cosmically significant, would Sasha have let her step on it? Or would Dr. Dirtz have tugged on the rope? Emily tried not to think too hard about the enigma that was Sasha. Instead, she devoted her heart and soul to the daily quest for their target, the life-extending, cancer-curing black seeds. When they were trekking around, Emily preferred her hands to be empty and unencumbered. She didn't want to be constantly messing with a tablet or cell phone, opting to keep them stowed in her pack. So the pair primarily used the glasses when stomping around joyously like kids. But thanks to all the tech, they had already found a handful of botanical puzzle pieces. Emily had an advantage over the other teams, though. Sasha was constantly bombarding her with the area's history, architecture, traditions, etc. As a result, Emily's brain was continually marinating in a mix of herbal concoctions, mythology, and wonderment. Meanwhile, Coraline had warmed to the linguist Harold and his passion for details. Yes, he had started in computer sciences like her, but Harold had branched off into language studies after dating a Portuguese major. When they broke up, he continued with linguistics, downgrading his coding degree to a minor. "So, what's your endgame with all the AI stuff you're developing?" Harold asked one day as they hacked a path towards the river. "All the AI stuff? You mean my life's work?" Coraline thought, trying not to show her frustration with his cavalier question. Or at having to machete through the muggy wilderness to fund her startup dreams. Should she share her personal theories and grand plans? It always made her feel weird or sound crazy, and it never helped getting her laid. "The singularity is coming, and I just want to get ahead of it, so to speak," Coraline summed up, throwing caution to the wind as she gave him a take-it-or-leave-it look. "Duh," he smiled, obviously unfazed and receptive. Okay, that was surprising and promising, Coraline thought. But who is this Harold person anyway? And what do I have on my hands here? A Star Wars fan or a Trekkie? Because those are two very different animals. Alright, well, you know the cortical implants that the FDA approved for blind and deaf people? Also, stroke victims, Alzheimer's, other messed up brain conditions, she said, probing his general knowledge. Yeah. Those things can compensate for damaged tissues, stimulate the brain from outside or inside the old noggin, right? Suddenly, Coraline realized she didn't feel like focusing on the finer details. Instead, she focused on his fine ass as he blazed a trail a few steps ahead. "I know it's been a while, but what's wrong with you? Ogle much?" Coraline thought, hoping he missed her blushing. Right. So, I just want to expand the concept, enhance it, make it smarter, say," Coraline blurted out, trying to distract her suddenly overactive libido. Techie talk it was, then. Probably some sort of AI-integrated hardware. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe wearables, similar to Sasha's goggles. Sans the goggles, she said, panting from the exertion and company. Harold was breathing hard too, but that was mostly from too much fast food and sedentary living. "Like a hybrid heads-up display," Harold said, looking back to get a read on Coraline, but failing. Wireless, of course, pinging specific neurons and stimulating the optic nerve with a combination of memories and real-time data," Harold huffed out, stowing his glasses to wipe sweat from his eyes. Maybe he does get it. Exactly, but oh so much more, Coraline said, suddenly enlivened as she scrounged in her pocket for another one of Sasha's generic chews. As she was gearing up this morning, it caught her eye and was simply labeled Focus. The entire expedition party had been plowing through the energy packs, which helped extend the effects of a morning cup of coffee to a smooth 12 or more hours of fatigue-free work. But who couldn't use some extra focus? The system would run, it would, Coraline said, struggling to find the right words and open the packet with her teeth. Here, let me help, Harold offered. Before Coraline could give her usual disclaimer of how germophobic she was, he had grabbed the packet and given it a go. Biting from one end, it finally gave way, and he handed it back, smiling. Easy tear my ass, he laughed, making her loosen up with a nervous chuckle. Huh, I'm getting banana, Coraline said, huffing the little pocket of captured air as she offered him one of the other focus packets. A little on the nose in the jungle, perhaps, he said, smiling as he chewed the lozenge. Right? She agreed, her shyness quickly receding. She finished the candy in a few tasty bites, with none of the herbiness of the sleep formula. But as she swallowed the last of it, her vision suddenly changed, making Coraline ditch her own glasses. Now, everything she saw was punched up, brightened, and heightened, as if she had just clicked a high-def, multi-spectrum Viewmaster. Each color was so distinct, yellow's more metallic gold, glittery. Soft edges sharpened as her entire field of vision was tuned to an almost infinite focus. When Coraline looked back at Harold's honest, carefree face, she somehow picked up on every scrap of body language he displayed. She was processing everything so fast, it was hypnotizing. Or was it his strong jaw and soft hazel eyes having that effect? Suddenly, an image of her saliva mixing with his, and his mouth working that wrapper, gave her a flush. She liked guys with a little extra to grab a hold of, and as he spoke, her gaze was fixed on his full lips. Words be damned. Maybe she was getting late on this trip after all. But just as she was pondering what to do with him first, something very odd happened. Coraline's body and mind entered a state of, autopilot. Suddenly, they were at the river, and she was rambling 1,000,000 miles a minute. She hadn't had a loss of memory per se, more like witnessing yourself fast-forwarding through life, then stopping the tape abruptly. Harold was just staring at her, nodding. Ideas, memories, and monologues sprayed out of her like a pressure washer. She couldn't stop. How was she accessing her subconscious so quickly, smoothly, with such, focus? Wow, you were really fucking smart, Harold blurted out, forcing her brain and mouth to freeze mid-sentence. Please say the next right thing. Please, please, please. And beautiful too, like so. She felt the universe kick her in the ass as she lunged for his thick, sweaty frame, kissing him. He held her, his strong arms under hers, hands gripping her waist and kissing her back. Even as he did, erotic visions, strings of code, and 1,000,000 random images flashed behind her eyelids, ramping up her arousal to a frightening degree. What the fuck is in that damn candy? She thought briefly, right before tearing his shirt open, the buttons flying off, lost forever. They were half naked, on their knees in seconds, sucking and biting each other's lips. Coraline pushed him down on the mossy riverbank, his eyebrows so high they threatened to slide off. With a bit of happy fumbling, her pants were off, and Harold's had been yanked to his knees. Mounting him, Coraline eased his cock inside her with a frantic hand. His head fell back onto the carpet of leaves as he let out a deep, rumbling moan. She rode on top of him, finding the perfect shared rhythm, as waves of raw sensuality crashed against the boulders of her rational mind. Behind Coraline's blissfully closed eyes, colors replaced concepts. Finally, her structured, analytical hold on reality crumbled under the mounting pressure of their shared rapture. Harold, on the other hand, only had one thought. I need to get a fuckload more of, oh god, yes, don't stop, of that damn candy.